Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you a little bit of the baking process of the character I'm making on this personal project, the V from Cyberpunk 2077. I hope you like the video. So guys, what is baking? Baking is the process where we are going to transfer all the details from the high poly model here, as you can see. You already saw before, I already modeled the high poly for this character. I made it in ZBrush and Marmoset Designer, his clothes and everything. So as you can see here, you transfer all of these details like folds, wrinkles and all that kind of stuff from this high poly to the low poly versions to get this kind of result here. As you can see, this is the low poly. You already saw the first file in Maya, and this is the untextured version, without the maps, basically this. And after the baking process, you get this result here. Basically, that's the process. So I decided to record this for you guys because, and also explain to you guys my workflow and also how did I get this result, because this process is very tricky and sometimes can get very complicated. So that's it. So let's go on. So basically what I'm doing here, it is organizing the project, because I've exported all models into one FBX file, and since this is my first time baking baking textures inside Marmoset Toolbag, I didn't know that to bake properly you should import every single asset, every single model as a separate asset. So in that way this could be more easy to organize things and create bake projects for each asset alone. So what I had to do here, it is organize the file between high poly, low poly, and the high poly and low poly parts from themselves, and build the proper cage for each asset, so it doesn't cause artifacts on the textures. After organizing the file, I started to work on the proper cage, just to make the first bake test and see how things would go. I've set up the normal maps on the flip y-axis because I want to export to Unreal Engine. As you can see, a lot of artifacts were generated because I didn't set up the cage to work alone only, by mesh name. And at first time I thought that was a problem on the UVs. After that, I've tested the bake and set it up the proper cage for it, and all the problems were solved in just simple clicks, just to get things very accurate. After that, I have uncovered the button inside the bake project that is called exclude when ignoring groups. That's the button. I will mark that here on the screen here. So this button, it will ignore all the other intersection meshes from your low poly, and it will just consider only the high polys that are inside the bake project, inside Marmoset. Now, for those who doesn't know how baking works, the cage should covers all the aspects from your low poly and also the high poly. That's why you have to sometimes tweak manually the cage and do some weight paint just to bake properly and don't generate artifacts on your mesh like this one. That happens because one part of the shoelace and other parts were too close, and the cages were intersecting each other. That shouldn't happen. You have to do some weight painting to shrink or grow some parts that that's made needs for your assets, and that with that you can do some proper bakes and don't generate artifacts on your assets. After finishing the baking for the shoes and also the shoelace, I've just jumped to the pants and also the buckle. As you can see, I had some problems there with the cage of the buckle. I don't know what happened. You can see me, fixing, try to rearrange the UVs and maybe, export the file again. So I really don't know what happened. But I solved this. Just do some estimation for the cage, and also fixing, manually with the paintbrush, and I think the result was actually very fine. As you can see, I am turning on the high poly just to grow the cage, to cover also the high poly, so it don't generate artifacts. And I think the final bake was very satisfying. I won't get grind or something like that on the pants for the textures, because I won't make some close-up shots for the pants specifically. And after that, I get the same cage problem related to the mechanical parts on the on the jacket, as you can see, and solve it by the same way, just painting manually the cage to cover everything, to grow and cover everything that's needed. You can see that in all of the parts, all of the mechanical parts. And also the final baking was very satisfying, as you can see there. You can see me checking out the maps, and it doesn't generate any artifacts for that. For the t-shirt was very easy and simple. The t-shirt will be inside the jacket, so it won't need too much details, and also it won't need too much work on it. I've just set the cage in a very, very default way, just to cover everything. Don't tweak nothing. I didn't tweak nothing, and yes, that was the final bake for the shirt. After the t-shirt, I started to baking the mesh maps for the eyes and also the carankle. I wanted to use the parallax effect for the eyes because I didn't make the iris for the eyes and the sclera on separate meshes to make the transition map on it. So I'm using the height map as a reference to make this parallax effect. So it makes the eyes, looks like a lens effect on the cornea. That's how the eyes actually looks. Actually works. Actually, you know. In game engines, mostly we have to fake this effect instead of building inside the shader, because this effect, costs a lot of processing, and we have to be economic in game engines. So I had some problems related to on baking the head mesh maps, because the lips were intersecting each other, and also the upside part of the eyes. So what I did is basically imported to ZBrush the low poly mesh, and projected, subdivided also, and projected inside into the high poly mesh. So that's why you are seeing me here in ZBrush tweaking a little bit the low poly mesh. After that, I've built up a layer inside ZBrush and opened his mouth. So as you can see, I can control the mouth open and close like a morph target, and this is the low poly mesh. It's the low poly mesh subdivided, so I can always downgrade the subdivision and export the final low poly mesh with the UVs, and start working on the baking process. So after that, I just make again the decimation master for the new high poly version, for the with the mouth open and the eye opening fixed, and re-import it to Maya so I can rename it, reset the materials and that kind of stuff, so I can re-import that to Marmoset Toolbag. As you can see, I've just erased or deleted one arm, because the original arm, it is with the UVs, and it is just mirrored to the other side. The carankle, I had to put it in the same UVs for the head, because the height maps are causing the parallax effect on the eyes, because it was on the same UDIN for the eyes, the carankle. So the parallax effect was affecting actually the carankle. So it was causing very issues and and a lot of bugs for the maps on the carankle. So I just set it up to be on the same UDIN for the head. It doesn't cause any problem at all. It is just a tiny space for the UVs, so it won't change a lot for the project itself. So you can see me now. I am fixing the projection problems and the artifacts for the mouth opening, and it goes everything well as I planned, since I opened the mouth, and the the maps works very well also. So I've after that I've started to baking the maps related to the jacket UVs. These tubes linking the mechanical parts and also the jacket was in the basically the same UVs for the jacket. I separate them in two UDIMs. One UDIM for the front part, actually the jacket. The outside part of the jacket, and the second UDIM would be related to the zippers and also the tubes and interiors part of the jacket. I said you before that I made the interiors part because if hypothetically this asset, this character itself would be inside a game engine, running on a AAA project, whatever, it would run a cloth simulation, and the character, when the character starts fighting, running itself, the inside part of the jacket would actually appear on the project, on the render. So that's why I modeled the interiors part. Now you can see me, fixing some artifacts that were generated on the jacket itself. I was surprised because it wasn't, too much complicated to fix that. Since the asset it's very very detailed and has a lot of parts that were close to each other. I was very surprised for that. The only problem was, it was literally on that part that I am fixing right now in the video. That was also very easy to to fixing those artifacts. Surprisingly, it was very easy, since the meshes were very close to each other. So after I finish the baking process for all the assets, I've started to mirror some assets that are actually mirrored, like the shoelaces, and the eyes. Especially the eyes were already mirrored because the head it's asymmetrical, and I've built it one master model for the eye, and duplicate him, and after that mirror it to the right position on the head. So yeah, this is the final result for the baking. I hope you guys like it. This after that I mirrored the caruncle, and you can see me placing there on position, reimporting for Marmoset and for you guys to see. So yeah, I hope you like this video, and this is the V from Cyberpunk 2077, my version of it, a fan art, and this is my project. The next phase is the texturing process. I will also record for that. The most tricky and difficult parts, probably I will do some narrated video like this one, explaining the process and wherever it is, and the parts that that wouldn't be so difficult, I would just build a time lapse for you guys to see, and yeah, This is actually a preview for the ray tracing, just to see how the lights affects with the normals and the AO. I pretty much like the result, and also I hope you guys like it. Please like, share and subscribe for the video, and see you next time. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to more content. Thank you very much.